What is good, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Dugouts, and it's time we can finally say it. Champions League football. Man, does it feel good to say that again. It's been too long, and hopefully it's never that long again. But what a way to kick it off. Bayern Munich. And to be honest, I'm happy with the draw entirely. To get the likes of Bayern Munich, to get the likes of Barcelona, teams with that European pedigree that have won this competition before, I wouldn't want it any other way because if at the end of the day, you've got to beat the best to be the best. And we are the best. World champions. Don't get much better than that, does it? Now, in this video, we are going to talk a little bit about Bayern, what we can expect from them. I'll give you my predicted 11 that I think Maresca is going to go with. And at the end, I'll give you the score predictions of how I think this is going to go. Now, Bayern. Bayern. You thought you were slick? You thought you were slick and you could go chatting to Jackson, trying to get some inside information, some little notes on how we tick, how Maresca sets us up. But we see through your games and we're preparing something for you. Don't you worry about that. But let's be real. Their attack is pretty deadly. Last few games, they've been banging in the goals. But there is an area that, like us, they're struggling in a little bit. And that's the defence. I don't particularly think Bayern's defence is that great. They do leak goals and they have leaked goals of recent times. But going forward, yes, they are quite a powerhouse. They've got England's number one striker, Harry Kane, 8 goals already. He's finding the back of the net really early on and he's putting those chances away. It's definitely going to be one where our centre-backs are going to have to be at the top of their game to stop him. Another player who I particularly think is going to be a real problem is Elise. He's on Cucurella's side, or if Maresca picks him, but obviously he's going to. He is on that side, so I'm quite confident in Cucurella's ability of keeping him at bay, but what he does like to do is he loves to cut inside and run at the centre-backs because he likes to get his shots away from the centre of the goal. So it's definitely going to be something that we're going to need to watch out for. And of course, the return of Nicholas Jackson. Now, I don't think he's going to start this game. Might be a bit too soon for him, but he's definitely going to come onto this. He's going to come with something to prove 100%. And look, at the end of the day, he does offer something. So we can't take him lightly. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty confident. If I go midfield to midfield, I feel our midfield trumps their midfield. And to be honest, I think our midfield trumps every midfield. But just talking about Bayern, I definitely hands down think there ain't a better midfielder, central defensive midfielder, than Moises Caicedo in the world right now. So for me, initially, straight off the bat, we're winning the midfield battle. As long as he's fit, no injuries happen, he will be starting 100%. I know I'm delving into a little bit of the starting 11 already, but I'm so excited for this game. You cannot. I'm sure, like most of you behind that camera, is you're just as excited for this game as I am. But looking at all the areas of the pitch, the attacking area for Bayern is their strongest area. Other than that, I feel we can go toe-to-toe, if not beat them in most of the other areas of the pitch. Chelsea, how do I think we're going to approach this game? Now, from a squad point of view, everyone is looking fit. Cole Palmer seems to be back, got minutes against Brentford, so he should be fine for this game. Esteval had a little bit of an illness, but I'm expecting him to be back in the squad for this one. Lavia's back, Badiashile, although I don't think either of them will be part of it. Fofana will definitely come. So on a squad basis, there's no new fresh injuries. We're looking fine. And all the players that we're expecting to have available are definitely available. So with that being said, let's get in to what I think Maresca is going to pick for the starting 11 for this game. Right, first Champions League squad of the season, of the campaign. What do I think Maresca is going to go with? Now, it's going to raise a few eyebrows with my selection, I think, and how Maresca is going to approach this, or how I think he's going to approach this, is going to be similar to the way that he approached the PSG games, which means I think he's going to go with a similar, if not the same, lineup for this game. If you remember it, you know who I'm going to be picking, but we are going to go through it. So, of course, Robert Sanchez is going to be in goal. He is our number one. He's been looking good of late, but he's going to need to pull out a worldy performance against this Bayern Munich team because they got some good finishers. So he needs to be on it. We can't have those bozo moments, his lapses in concentration. He's got to be on it. And he's doing all right so far this season. So give him props. Just need him to be on it from the off in this one. Right backs. Now, I think for this game, as I said, I think Maresca's going to approach this the same way as the PSG. So I feel he's going to go with Gusto in the right back. Now, of course, if he's fit and he's ready to play, Reece James is in my team in right back over everybody. However, and you'll see why in a little bit, I think he's going to go with Gusto for a different reason other than he prefers Gusto over James. Now, Gusto has got the nod so far this season, but I think it's maybe because they're still being a little bit cautious with James with the amount of football that needs to be played this season. But I think he's going to use James in a different capacity for this game. Partnership, centre back pairing, who I think is going to play in this game. For me, it needs to remain unchanged. It's still got to be Tosin and Trev. It's the best centre back pairing we've got. Yes, I know Fofana's back, and it's great to have him back in the squad. However, I just don't think he's ready. He didn't look great against Brentford. He looked like he was leggy. He looked like he wasn't up to the speed. And to throw him in Champions League game with high stakes, the competitiveness of the fixture, the team that we're playing against, I just think he's not ready for it. So for me, to keep the consistency up, to keep the chemistry building, he will go with Tosun and Chalobah alongside them. And the left back role has got to be Cuckoo. He's going to be vital in locking down Elise. He is going to be vital. If he can stop him from going inside, stop him going from the outside, stop him from being creative and getting his shots away, Bayern Munich's attack will dwindle in chances, in goals, dramatically. We've got to keep him locked. And I think Cucurella has got the best chance of doing this because he is an unreal footballer. Midfield, the midfield pivot. And this is where the eyebrows may be raised. But I think based on Bayern Munich, they are similar in stylistic to the way PSG want to play. So for me, this might be in the thinking of Maresca to approach it similarly to how PSG play. So with that being said, the midfield pivot for me is going to be Caicedo, of course, the midfield general. He's playing unreal at the moment. And at the end of he's got to be the best midfielder in the world right now in his role. I don't see a better player, and that's not me being biased. We all watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of football. And when we're looking at central defensive midfielders, he has it all. And he's doing it consistently. From last season to this season, he has been consistent. So for me, hands down, he's got to be the best in the world right now, and he is going to be important in winning that midfield battle. And this is where it comes in. I think Maresca is going to go with Reece James in midfield. I know we don't like it. I hate the midfield experiment. I hate it. It did work really well against PSG. So I'm not going to lie there. It did. It was vital to how we beat PSG. I just don't like it. I don't like it. But I do think Maresca is going to go with this option. So in the 10, I think he's going to go with Enzo. With, obviously, you go, oh, Cole Palmer. Enzo in the 10, Cole Palmer on the right. Now, a lot of people will go, you know what? That ain't bad in terms of the Cole Palmer and Enzo. Enzo's played in the 10 before. He can do it. He's good at controlling and dictating the play. He can create passes. He looks for those little through balls. He's great at distributing the ball from left to right. Cole Palmer's best season, where he produced the best, was out on that right-hand side. So a lot of people have been calling for him to go back out on the right side. I do prefer him in the 10, and which allows him to sort of drift out to the right, drift out to left. He can sort of, play in those little pockets. But I'm happy if he's on the right wing. Now, of course, you've got Esteval. People, oh, where's Esteval? He has played a lot of football, come back from international. He has been ill, back in training on Monday, so he's back and fit, getting up to speed again. But I think for the magnitude of the game, the age of the player, and the fact that he's just been ill, so maybe not 100% yet, I don't think they're going to throw him into the game. I also don't think it would be a good time to throw the likes of Gittins in. I think he needs a little bit of time out of the limelight to, hone in his game a little bit. Maybe Maresca spend a little bit more time tactically with him to try and build up his confidence, because I think that's one thing that's lacking in Gittins is confidence. And I don't think Garnacho is fit enough yet to compete from the start. I do think we'll see him come off the bench. So for me, on the left hand side is going to be Pedro Neto, one our standout winger at the moment from the Club World Cup all the way through to now. He has been unreal. He was great in the Brentford game. Had that one really good opportunity where we cut inside, got his shot away, but Ethan Pinnock out of nowhere just did like a Superman, a block, and stopped him from scoring. But other than that, the performance that he put in was brilliant. So I'm hoping he can produce the same against Bayern Munich, because it's going to be vital. Those three, that Enzo, Palmer, and Neto, can create a lot against this back line, because, as I said, they're not that great. They have leaked goals. They have looked suspect. So it's an opportunity for our attacking line to produce the magic. And I think these three have the opportunity to do that. And who they be producing this magic for? João Pedro. Look, I think the game against Brentford, he was a little bit isolated, a little bit of a passenger, but I don't think that was because of him. At the end of the day, he did get an assist for the Cole Palmer goal, so he popped up where he needed to. But he was floating around the 9 and the 10 in that game. I think we were off in our balance as well, which didn't help him. So he couldn't really get a foothold in the game. And of course, like the other players, he's played a lot of football. He's had the big international, traveling around the world, coming back. And he was also not feeling 100% either, which we found out after the game. So he probably could have used the rest against Brentford. Might have even gone with Mark Gu, but that didn't happen. So he didn't get a rest. But I think going into this Bayern Munich, a few days rest, some training to get back up, to fitness, get up to speed again. The virus of whatever he had is probably out of his body now. So he should be back fit and ready for this game. And I think this is the starting 11 that Maresca is going to go with to win this fixture. Of course, for me, in a perfect world, maybe I would go with James as right back instead of Gusto, Enzo and Caicedo in the pivot, with Palmer in the 10, Esteval on the right, Neto on the left, João Pedro up front. That would be another sort of formation, another starting 11 that I would go with for this fixture. But I think because of the team that it is, I think Maresca's going to go with this midfield experiment thing with James, as it worked well against PSG. So we've seen results from it before. And if it ticks like it did against PSG, we will cause Bayern a hell of a lot of problems. But of course, let me know in the comments below. What do you think the starting 11s be? Is there anyone in there that you would take out and replace? Get them in the comments below. Let's have a chat about it. Right, score prediction time. What do I think the score is going to be? How do I think this game is going to go? Look, I'll be real. I think this is going to be a tight game. I think both teams are going to give it everything, and I think both teams are going to score in this fixture. However, I think Chelsea are going to come away with the win here. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Chelsea, with Cole Palmer and Pedro Neto scoring the goals, and we are going to be walking away with the victory. But guys, drop your score predictions in the comments below. How do you think this game is going to end? But for now, guys, that is all from me. If you are enjoying the content, please hit that like button, smash the subscribe if you are new around here. But for now, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you in the next one.